understand how you would make an investment. We're looking at places where obviously people are nearby. In our case, we're interested in not only high-end homes, but also the affordable housing needed for people in Nigeria, which is a big problem. And we want to provide the jobs so that they can afford the money to actually purchase the place, and so that everybody can be benefited, not just a few. So.
Thank you very much, Mr. John. I will take it to Mr. Uzo now, Udemba. I will be asking you about our markets here as well, because you have been in our country, Nigeria, for decades now, of course. And one of the ways we were able to meet Mr. John, he spoke a lot about you earlier today, and I'm not surprised he's still speaking so much about how you met and how amazing of an investor, of course, which I also know. He doesn't even need to talk so much about you. But based on what is actually happening right now in the country, we know inflation has come to bear. Do you think this currently, and the risks of the currency keep going high, a lot of irregulations of dollar, or the market changes, the fluctuations of different things happening in the country. Do you think that right now it's a good time? Because some people also are kind of skeptical about the political issues also happening in the country, and some are kind of scared about the security. When I came in earlier, I heard you talking about security, which is you're talking about it generally everywhere in the world, the issue that has to do with security. So do you think for Nigerians who reside, and as a businessman yourself, who have high projection and who knows what is going to come to be in the future, is this a good time for a lot of Nigerians, both right here in Nigeria and both in the diaspora, to come invest in Nigeria? Because a lot of them just want to get out of Nigeria right now, go find the greener pastures elsewhere in the Western world. So what do you have to say as regards that?
Oh, thank you very much, Bisi. In the first place, what's your relationship with Dr. Steve Akintoye?
Okay, I'm Dr. Stephen Akintoye's wife.
Okay, I watched his interview with this day, with the Arise.
Okay.
Sometime. I was very interested in what he's been able to do and what he's doing and what he wants to achieve. I think he's based in Ibadan, right? From Ibadan,
no, Dr.
right?
Stephen, he's from Abeokuta.
Okay,
but he's not based. He's based in Lagos.
Maybe that I think he's someone, because he's Steve Akintoye and he's into real estate.
Yes, Dr. Stephen Akintoye. We actually have this is in Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt,
and in Dubai. He's doing things.
In Dubai, yes. It's the same person.
I would like to meet with him, because I found what he's doing very interesting, because he's a guy who looks at the long term. The best way to look at business opportunities is to look long term, because and that's the difference between, if you ask me, between the African businessmen and maybe their Western counterparts, or even the Asians. It's just the extent to which they can look at things. So I found Dr. Steve to be very interesting, from the standpoint of the way he analyzed his business and what he was doing and how long he has been in it, and the fact that he has grown so well. So please extend my greetings to him.
Definitely.
Sometime I'd like to meet with him. Anyway, now to your question. First is who are the diasporans when you have to, because this topic is about diasporan investment in real estate. So my question would be, who are the diasporans? Who are they? Where are they located? And I have my own definition of the diasporans and where they're located. And at times it appears controversial, but I believe that that is what it should be. I look at diasporan as everyone of African ancestry. And they are everywhere in the world, all over. Some diasporans were taken in chance to where they are, and some diasporans went voluntarily, and some are being forced by economic hardship and lack of opportunities. And so whichever way they come, they're diasporans. So when you define that group, then you begin to now look at investment in real estate. And the same way you look at them as diasporans that are so diasporan, then look at Nigeria beyond the immediate challenges to begin to understand how Nigerians have evolved and what is the spirit that drives these people. And then you look at their history, and you can see Nigeria is like, the boat that brought Mongo Park to Africa, to West Africa. That boat, at times, it would look as though it was going to capsize the next minute, and then it comes back again, and so on. That is how I describe Nigeria. Nigeria at times goes to at the time had the Abiola thing, many people gave up on Nigeria. They thought that problem was insurmountable. We've gone through it. Nigeria fought a civil war for 4 years, and Nigeria survived it. So Nigeria is resilient, and in such a resilient population, housing is something that will always be in demand. And so investment in that sector is something that I would encourage anyone who has the money to invest. But can we get to housing through another industry? Is there an industry that can generate a much faster return on investment? And then when I define my diasporans, they include people who have never even been to Africa before. And so those people who want to have a business where they can monitor from wherever they are or where they live. And so investment in technology, in the exploitation of talents, especially if it's in a very transparent manner where the diasporan African from the Caribbean, diasporan African from let's say Australia, can really follow their investment. Look at the returns. Look at how the investments are performing.